two things people don't really understand within Flashpoint Campaign Southern Storm is how suppression of enemy air defense works and how air superiority works. Technically, there is an air war going on within Flashpoint Campaign Southern Storm, and it's more so abstracted, at least the air superiority portion. So there are air-to-air fighters, and they can destroy your helicopters. You're just not going to see them on the map or under your fire support tab. But you will see them represented throughout the scenario as like the enemy air, not the enemy air defense, but the enemy air power, so air superiority. So when that's high and you have helicopters in the zone, technically fighters can shoot your helicopters down, and they can shoot your air support down if you call it in. So when the air power is low, or air power is in your favor, so NATO's, since we're playing NATO, then we're more free to operate within the airspace, and we won't get shot down by these, not so much hypothetical fighters, but abstracted fighters, because they are present on the map. We just can't see them. Now we're going to move on to another topic that a lot of people don't really understand, and that's suppression of enemy air defenses. How we're going to do this is we have two Bradleys on the battlefield. They're both set to recon, so they're going to sit and observe. This one over here on this right-hand side is our main scouting vehicle. I'm going to set him to hold, and I'm going to kind of remove all of his tactical initiative away from him. So basically, his whole job is just to sit there. He's going to hold, and he has no choice but to sit in that position. And the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to hit the start button, and then we're going to dive into suppressing the enemy air defenses. So let's hit start. And the scenario is going to run through. As you see, there's several SAMs already on the battlefield, some relatively powerful ones. And so we have several aircraft that can engage those SAMs with anti-radiation missiles. And then we're going to call in A-10s, B-1 bombers, and F-117 Nighthawks to kind of just deal with everything. So here we've spotted a SAM. So unlike aircraft, so strike aircraft, the suppression of enemy air defenses works a bit differently. It operates within 4 hexes, and I'm not sure how they abstract that or how that's modeled within the game. So it kind of needs to be within a 4 hex area. So I wonder if they're saying like a 4 hex radius, or if it's just like 4 hexes right around it, forward of the one you choose. I don't know how that's modeled in the game. I can't really explain that to you. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to target this general area where we identified the SAMs. So if we click on this 117 Nighthawk, as you see, since they're on call, the game kind of placed them on the map for us. We don't want them going there. We're just going to drop it right here, right on target, the F-117 Nighthawk. That's where we want him to engage. And so what's going to happen is it's going to bring this menu up. Our airstrike is going to happen at 10:35. We don't have enough anti-radiation missiles to destroy all these SAMs that are currently in this area. But what we can do is kind of suppress them and allow our forces to come in and engage. So this strike is not going to arrive until 10:35. We can actually adjust that planned arrival if we really wanted to, if we were trying to predict where they're going to move, by these buttons right here. So we can add time, or we can take it back down to 0. And as you see, this goes from 10:35 and it goes up, and it can go all the way up to 2 hours out. We're going to leave it where it's at, and we're going to do that for all of our suppression of enemy air defense aircraft. Actually, just for the first 2 Nighthawks, because we're going to layer this. We're going to send Nighthawks in, send B-1s in, then we're going to send F-4 Wild Weasels in, and then we're going to send A-10s in. So basically what's that going to do is we're going to suppress, bomb. Whether that's the correct tactic or not sure, but that's what I'm rolling with. So we have one enemy suppression of enemy air defense come in. We're going to place one right below it, just in case people try and move around. We're going to commit. This one's going to come in. I kind of want to do it 1 minute later. So one's going to come in, then the next one's going to come in, and then we're going to follow that up by sending in our B-1s. So 1 minute after our suppression of enemy air defense comes in, our strike aircraft are going to come in. And these have a radius of 6 hexes. So if we drop it right here, it's going to attack this hex, this hex, this hex, this hex, this hex, this hex. Or that's just generally where it's going to strike. So if that unit is not in the middle hex, it's going to look for units around that radius, whatever it would be. He's going to come in 2 minutes after. So now we are at 10:37. So now we're doing our strikes, because we don't want everyone to get shot down all at once. Then we're going to layer this a little bit more. I think that's a relatively okay position. He's going to go a bit further back. He's actually going to come in 3 minutes later. So now we're at 10:38. So our time's getting a bit out there. I'm going to I don't really want like a 15-minute long airstrike going on. That's just going to give them time to respond. So we only have one more suppression of enemy air defense left, and it's this wild weasel. So we're going to send him in at 10:38 with our other bomber, because now that other aircraft's going to be gone, and I kind of get the feeling that he needs to be on station at around 10:38. So we say commit, we say 10:38, and then following that at 10:39, we are going to bring in our A-10s and kind of just layer everything. So remember, one thing we did is we're calling in B-1 strikes on these areas. So we don't just want to drop bombs directly on this position, because these units, once they're engaged, are going to bounce or scoot from these positions. So we really need to kind of spread out a little bit. So let's say the strike is successful right here. Then they may scoot forward 1 hex. Correct? So we say right there. This one comes in at 10:38 as well, or 10:39. What happens there is if these units move this way, then we're going to strike there. But see, we're doing a lot of predicting right now. But also if they're over here, we'll strike them as well. And then we'll just cover this area as well. So if they move back, actually, I want it right there. I want to take this one back 1. Just like that. And this one can come in at 10:39 as well. All right, and those are basically our fire missions. So we go to our Fire Support Control Center. What's this one? ASAP Priority 2. We shouldn't really have anything. But basically, this is what it looks like. Opportunity with a radius of 3 hexes, starting at 10:15. Oh, this one doesn't have no target availability. This is the one that's missing. We're going to do it right on target, and he's going to come in 4 minutes later. So we kind of have a layered strike going where I would rather have suppression of enemy air defense and on station at all times, but it's kind of a bit tricky to do because I'm not sure which aircraft's going to arrive first if they're at the same time. I'm not sure how the game determines which one arrives on station first. I don't know if it's the aircraft you select first, or I don't know if it's the aircraft that's how the code runs. So let's go. Basically, we're going to lose sight of these guys, but that guy's not going to move. We're just going to hold. Time's going to tick by really fast. All right, so if we look in this upper right-hand corner, in 4 minutes, our strikes are going to begin. And then it's going to be 4 or 5 minutes of straight airstrikes. Just suppression of enemy air defense, bombers, suppression of enemy air defense, bombers. Or actually, suppression of enemy air defense, bombers, suppression of enemy air defense, and bombers. So, all right, we pull this back up. We can kind of confirm that's exactly what's going to happen. No request in queue. And then if we were to come over here, it keeps bringing this up, but I guess I can't see when my airstrikes are going to come in, which is kind of a bit of a bummer. All right, it's 4 minutes. Countdown, guys. Let's let it rain. All right, 35. Evaded interception, continuing to target. There we go. So there's the anti-radiation mission at 10:35. First one. See, and it's a dangerous game. There it goes. Suppression of enemy is dangerous, man. It's deadly. Right? We need them to shoot. All right, they take out the smaller one. Next one's coming in. All right. More radar detected, airstrike, radar detected, radar detected. And what do we get? God, we're actually engaging ground targets. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that animation. The F-117s. Oh, he was hit by fire. I see. There's still. So this guy's still active. So even though we kind of suppressed him, he's flying too by, but now he's kind of suppressing that backline, so he is completing his bomber mission. There it is on all those units. And remember, they're going to all start scooting now because those are some big bombs on those. All right, here comes our next suppression of our wild weasel. And we're at 10:38, man. This has been 3 minutes. There we go. Wild Weasel is effective. And then our A-10s are going to come in next. Look at that. That's amazing. Those A-10s are merciless, man. The B1s, not super effective against ground targets, but those A-10s definitely shut everything down. Oh, and then one A-10 was shot down. So even with all that suppression of enemy air defense going on, I wonder if it would be better to to do it at the same time instead of like 1 minute later. But it's tricky because I'm not quite sure which aircraft arrives first. And see, there they all moved. And then we kind of hit proceed. We take a look at our fire support tab. And unfortunate, we did lose one A-10. We did take some fire with one of our B-1s. We can actually go up here and see staff. Let's see if we can find it. Personnel and logistics. And it tells us basically everything that went on. Ammo type, this is what we did. We dropped 8 basic loads, hydro rockets, our snake eye iron bomb, anti-radiation missiles were all shot out. And then we come over here and we hit end game. That's fine. We weren't really trying to win. We take a look at the butcher's bill. And we did lose, we lost 2 aircraft, so 2 A-10s. But we kind of just destroyed a bunch of so they lost a whole bunch of infantry units by that self-propelled SAM. 3 started, 3 running, 2 started, 2 down. And then we can just, yeah, that's exactly what we want. 2 falling out, so we eliminated 1 and we took out a whole bunch of the other ones. That's really okay. It's tricky, man. Suppression of enemy air defense is a bit tricky, guys. But that's basically how you do it within Flashpoint Campaign Southern Storm. Peace.